Hello and welcome to another full body mobility class today. As usual, quick disclaimer, if you are dealing with any injury, please take care of yourself, and if you feel that something is not right for you, adjust or just don't do it. Okay, so we are starting sitting with the legs crossed, finding the sit bones and being as comfortable as possible. And we are starting with 5 breaths. Good, so deep inhale, you can close your eyes if you want to, and exhale, pull that belly button in, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. 2 more times. Inhale with the tummy, big tummy, rib cage is expanding to the sides and to the front and to the back, and as you pull, that belly button goes in and we kind of have a very small waist. Everything is squeezing like a sponge. Good, 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. Arms in front of your chest, so make sure that your shoulders are stacked right over your pelvis, not your knees, and the spine is straight and your head is right on top of your spine. Arms are reaching forward, but shoulders are staying where they are. Good. From here, we're going to start by pulling the belly button to the spine, rolling that pelvis to the back, upper chest is rolling forward, so we're getting into a little flexion. Good, and from here, leading with the crown of the head, we're going to roll to the front, open those arms, and arch that spine, breastbone shining forward. If you want to look up at the ceiling, do that, but no strain, no pressure in your lower back or at the back of your neck. And again, belly button in, and we bring the arms to the front, we roll that spine to the back. You should feel nice stretch around your ribcage area. And inhale, starting from the crown of the head, rolling that spine forward and that pelvis forward, and open your arms out, out, out. It feels good. And again, once more, rolling that pelvis to the back, belly button is in, abdominals are in, pushing that rib cage to the back, arms are reaching forward. Good. And let's roll everything to the front, arching the back without any compression. We don't like compression in Pilates. Perfect. Good. Now I'm going to turn around and face you for our seated side bend. So if you have been sitting with the same leg at the front, I encourage you to switch. Right, and if sitting like so is too hard for you, you can just sit on a block and elevate yourself from the floor. It will make your life easier. We don't want any struggle here. Okay, finding the sit bones, shoulders over your hips. We open the arms out to the T position, palms facing down. Now, keeping both hips equally heavy on the ground, we're going to go to the right. Good. Side bending to the right. So that left hip is pushing down to the floor. The right arm is pushing your chest away from the ground. That left arm is reaching as far as it can, excuse me, and the right rib cage is going away from the ground. Good. And we come back to center using those obliques and those abdominals, and we go to the left. And we hold. Good. And coming back to center and going to the right again. So once we are in that position, you can bend your right elbow to get a deeper stretch as far as that left hip stays down and doesn't come along with you, okay? Good, and let's do the other side again. and side bend. That feels so good. Coming back to center, let's do one more on each side and reach. Good, and coming back and side bending to your left. And coming back to center. So we're going to add a rotation to that side bending. Good, going to your right again, side bending and rotating that chest towards the floor. Good, the belly button is in, the ribcage is pushing away from the ground. Coming back to the side bend and center and side bend to your left and rotation of the chest. The sit bones are equally heavy on the ground. Side bend again, coming back to center, and we're going back to our right. And bend. Ah, that feels so good. Rotation of the chest. Left arm is reaching forward. You're not collapsing to the ground. Good. Side bend, coming back to center, and side bending to your left. And rotation to the floor. Side bend, coming back to center, and once more on each side. I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am. And center and side bend to your left. Rotation. Ooh. Side bend and back to center. Great. Okay. Now we're going to get into a deep rotation and glute stretch, which is called half load of the fish, something like that in yoga. I like to take exercises from different repertoire as far as they work for me. Right, so I'm going to just turn around so that you can see what I am doing. So I am going to keep my left leg bent, so that left foot is going to come quite close to my right glutes. I'm going to bring that right foot over my left knee. So my legs are crossed that way. Now, we try to have an equal balance on the sit bones. So you don't want to have one hip high. If this is the case, you can sit on a cushion or a block. Good. Now, from here, right hand next to the left foot. Bring your left arm up to the ceiling. Now rotate your spine, rotate your chest towards the right. The right hand goes to the back and hook that left arm to your right knee. Now once your left elbow is to your right knee, you can use that grip to lengthen the spine and now get more rotation towards the back. Keep that spine very long. You really want to feel long from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Good, and we hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We want the shoulders to be away, all the way from the ears. Great, and let's switch side. Good, so we bend that right leg. We bring the left foot over the right knee. We lengthen and lift that right arm up to the ceiling. We hook that right elbow to the left knee. So as you straighten your spine, the left knee comes to you. And you should feel a nice stretch on the side of your thigh. That's great. Good. Long and tall spine. And now we rotate to the left. Long spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. I said it before. Good. So here shoulders are away from your ears. And let's hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So once you are in that stretch, the more you get comfortable into it, use the stretch you get to open your ribcage out a little more. Good. Let's get into our half butterfly or half soar position. Okay, so we want to keep the left knee bent and extend the right leg like so. Your sit bones are equally heavy on the ground. From here we're going to bring the hands behind the head. We want the shoulders to be right over the hips and the shoulders to be relaxed. Elbows are in your peripheral vision. We start looking at the front. And from here, now that we have a bit of rotation, we're going to rotate that chest towards the right leg. Good, and 3 times we bring the nose down towards the right knee. We hold, we keep that spine long, and we come back. So we don't really want to bend forward this way. We want to hinge forward, getting the length from our lower back. We don't want to be rounded like so. We want to keep a long spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Good. Number 2, nose towards the knee and hold and lengthen back up. Good, and exhale, bring that nose towards the knee and come back up. And for the last one, we're going to hold the stretch. So bring your nose towards your knee, hold it there, grab the sides of your foot and let's hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep lengthening the spine as you are getting comfortable into the stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the arms, bring your hands behind your head and lift yourself up and coming back to center. And guess what? We also have a left leg and we're going to do it on the left as well. All right, so turning around, readjusting everything. Good, so we bend that right leg, left leg is out, the hips are squared, the hips are equally heavy on the ground, and we place those hands behind the head. Shoulders are right over the hips, your head is pushing into your hands, your elbows are in your peripheral vision, and we are looking straight ahead. Now, rotation to the left and hinging forward. As we exhale, we hold and inhale, come back up. And number 2, hinging forward without bringing along the right hip and coming back up. And again, and 3. Oh, that feels really good. And coming back up. And number 4, we are going to hold that stretch, bring that nose down to your knee. Extend your arms and grab the sides of your foot. Keep the shoulders squared. You don't really want to be twisted in an awkward way, and you don't want your spine to be rounded. Good, and pull. One more thing, if you need to bend your knee slightly here because that's comfortable, you can also do that as far as you feel the stretch at the back of your leg. Good, and we hold for, I forgot to start counting, so we can hold it a little longer. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keeping the bend. We extend the arms, we place the hands behind the head, and we come back up, facing forward again. Ah, that was gentle. All right, now we're getting into our leg pull back prep. Good, so legs are straight in front of you. Your hands are at your back, so you don't really want to hang in between the shoulder blades. We're not at the beach here. We are doing Pilates. And we know how alignment and length is important in Pilates. Right, so we want to push the floor away, the spine is straight, the shoulders are rolled back, proud chest. Good, and from here, we're going to bring the hip bones to the belly button, lift that pelvis, point your toes and stay. And now bringing that pelvis back down to the floor. Let's do 2 more. Pushing the floor away, proud chest. Rolling that pelvis up and push, shoulders are staying away from your ears, point your toes, get the maximum length you can and coming back all the way down. Let's do 1 more. And again, lifting that pelvis, pointing the toes, pushing that floor away. Let's hold it for a little longer than before. Good, good, good. If your toes don't touch the floor, that's fine. Mine are not touching either. I am quite tight in my ankles. And we roll back to the front. Good. Now, getting into our side bend. We don't really do the side bend this way, but today we are going to do it this way. I mean, my way. Good. So, getting on your side, bending your right leg, and bringing your right foot in front of your right tibia. Your right hand is on the floor, so that hand is in line with your hip. Your arm is straight, so you don't want to sink into your shoulder, you want to push yourself away. We want things to work here. Now, that left arm is out to the side. And now we're going to start by lifting the pelvis, bringing the arm over the head and extending that right foot. Good, and we want to push the pelvis away, watch the shoulders, and now we want to come back down to the floor and bring that left leg back. I'm just going to slide down a bit. Good, 2 more times. Lifting that pelvis up. So you want to push that right leg into the ground, extend the left leg away, shoulders are away, pelvis and left rib cage pushing up to the ceiling. That's such a good stretch. So the right foot is pushing the floor away. You have a very active left leg. And the left arm is reaching away from the crown of the head. Good, and let's come back down. 1 more time, guys. Good, let's push that pelvis up, anchoring the right leg down, and let's push that floor away. Good, and let's come back down, and let's switch sides. So we bend the left leg, right foot in front of the left tibia, left hand on the ground in line with your left hip, right arm out and straight. So we push that pelvis up, we bring that right arm over the head and extend the right leg. Good, and reach, push that right rib cage up, 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 and let's bring everything back. Perfect, and again, pelvis up, arm over your head, extending that right leg away, and push that rib cage up and above. So here you don't want your pelvis to drop at the back, okay? So you really want the front of the hips to be open. Good, and let's come back, and let's do 1 more. Lifting that pelvis up, anchoring that left leg, extend the right leg, pushing the floor away with your right foot. Good, and get the maximum stretch you can get on that right side. Perfect, and let's come back down. Now, getting on our fours for our licking cat. I absolutely love the licking cat. Good, so here, feet and knees hip width apart. You want your knees to be right under your pelvis and your wrists right under your shoulders. So we don't want to be hanging like so. We want to be in a nice neutral alignment. Shins are pressing down, and from there we're going to round the spine into the cat stretch. Belly button is pulling to the spine, pushing, pulling to the spine. Your arms and your knees are pushing your chest away from the ground. Just think of how an angry cat is. Now from there, keeping everything as it is, move your pelvis towards your heels without dropping on the heels. Your hands stay where they are not coming to you or moving. The floor is away from you. Good. Now, we are going to look right above the fingers. So the spine is going to go from flexion, which is where we are now, to extension. So that chest is going to go away from the floor. So we went from flex spine, rounded spine, and we go to extended spine or arch back. We don't want any pressure into the lower back. Now from here, we bring the elbows down. Those elbows, those forearms are pushing the chest away from the ground, and we slide. We slide forward, no tension at the back of your neck. We bring that pelvis over the knees. Once we are in the position, we push the chest up. And again, exhale, round that spine, pelvis to the heels. And elbows down and chest into extension. Sliding forward, bringing that pelvis over the knees and lift that chest up. So we want to use the abdominals and the back muscles here. We don't want to use the front of the shoulders and have some funny movement in the shoulders. One more time, round the spine. Pushing the pelvis to the heels without dropping on the heels. Elbows down, chest into extension and away from the floor. And sliding forward, bringing that pelvis over the knees, and once it is there, we get all the way up. Now let's challenge that licking cat a little more. So we're going to move the hands one step forward. One step forward. Okay, so we keep the pelvis on top of the knees, the hands are just further forward. Right, same exact movement. Rounding the spine, pushing the floor away, bringing your pelvis towards your heels. So you don't want to drag your arms along with you. The hands stay where they are. Your pelvis might not touch your heels, and that's absolutely fine. Elbows down to the ground, extending that spine, and sliding forward until you feel your pelvis landing over your knees. And from there, shoulders away from your ears, chest away from the floor, pushing up to the starting point. Let's do two more, rounding that spine. Pelvis towards the heels. Elbows down to the ground, to the ground. Chest extension, sliding forward and lifting that chest up. Once more, rounding the spine. Pelvis to the heels. Elbows on the ground, extension of the chest, sliding forward and lifting that chest up. Staying in that position, we're going to move the shoulders over the wrist. So make sure that your hands are on the outside of the mat. So you don't want them to be in, you want them to be on the edges of the mat, but still on the mat. So, shoulders over your wrists. And now we're going to do 10 push-ups. Watch your lower back, you don't want it to sink, okay? Press your shins down, pelvis in a neutral position. And we go down and we push. And 2, and push. And 3, and push. Use those abdominals, no tension in the lower back. 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and push. Bring your hands back to under the shoulders, coming back to our normal cat, normal all fours position. And a class with me is not a class with me if we don't do my favorite up stretch, or downward facing dog, curl the toes under, push your pelvis up to the ceiling, adjust your feet, keep your knees bent if you have to, shoulders away from your ears, and we hold, and we roll the shoulders over the wrists and bring the knees down. Let's do that 2 more times, and push the pelvis up. I adore the downward dog. Stick your butt out. We want to have a straight spine, pushing the chest to the thighs. Good, and let's roll the shoulders over the wrists and bring your knees back down. Great, 1 more time, guys, and push that pelvis up. Perfect. Good, and let's bring the knees back down to the ground, crossing the legs, and that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall see you next time. If you have any questions, just please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments. Allez, take care. Bye.